Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thanks for tuning in to another one of our live videos here. So probably about close to 2 weeks ago now, I had talked about proper hydration. So I figured today I would talk a little bit about dehydration, how to spot it, what things our body's going to do when it is dehydrated, and then so like signs and symptoms, things like that, and then how to rehydrate properly and prevent dehydration from happening. So let's go back a little bit to some of the hydration information here. So again, proper hydration for men and women is going to look a little different. For men, we're talking about 100 ounces of water each day. And for women, it's more like around 72 ounces. But that's obviously going to vary person to person. So being able to understand how your body feels when you drink a certain amount of water and the differences between, say, if you drink 50 ounces one day and 100 ounces the next day. Just understanding those differences and feeling those differences is going to lead you to make an educated decision on how many ounces of water you should be drinking a day, because everybody's different. But so let's talk about what dehydration is. So it's essentially just when we lose more fluid than we're putting in. So, if you're drinking 50 ounces of water in a day, but you're losing 60 ounces, you have that loss of fluid there. And then what happens when we are dehydrated is the body doesn't have enough water to perform all of its normal functions. So again, water is really important for cells and organs, things like that. So when we have a lack of water, those organs and cells can't function properly. Let's talk a little bit about how to spot dehydration, or some of the signs and symptoms that we're going to feel when our body is trying to tell us that we're dehydrated. So what I've mostly seen is that there's kind of two main categories of dehydration. So there's moderate dehydration and severe. So let's talk about moderate first, some of the signs and symptoms. First off the bat is for moderate, you're going to feel like you have a dry mouth. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Usually you feel this like when you wake up in the morning, you kind of have that thirst for a glass of water. You're also going to be a little bit dizzy, lightheaded. So again, this is kind of your body telling you that it needs some water so that it can function properly. You'll feel weakness in the muscles. Kind of goes along with that dizzy, lightheadedness, and then headache. So the onset of a headache as well will also tell you that your body is dehydrated. As far as severe dehydration goes, these signs and symptoms are going to be a lot different. You'll probably go through those moderate symptoms leading up to the severe dehydration, but when your body is severely dehydrated, you'll actually have a lack of sweating. So your body is functioning properly when you are sweating. It's actively trying to cool itself down, but once that stops, you've reached a point to where you're lacking extremely in fluids. So that should be your first kind of telltale sign. You'll also have low blood pressure. This may be hard to feel, but along with it, you'll have an increased heart rate. So that's a little bit easier to tell or feel. And then shriveled or dry skin. So again, I think that's a little bit self-explanatory. So again, you'll probably progress through the moderate symptoms and then eventually feel those severe dehydration symptoms when and if it gets to that point. So let's talk about how to rehydrate when you get to that, when either the moderate or severe dehydration. So for moderate dehydration, just drinking fluids. So again, you want to be able to drink fluids throughout the day, not just all 60, 70, 80 ounces at one time. Try to drink all throughout the day. That can be water, Gatorade. They recommend clear broths. I think I mentioned this in the hydration topic, but milk is actually one of the most hydrating fluids. And then you also get fluids from like fruits and vegetables, things like that. When you get to severe dehydration, this is when you'll probably need that medical attention. So you might need an IV fluid to bring your fluid levels back up. But again, hopefully we can understand what our body is doing and how it feels during those moderate symptoms that we don't get to the severe dehydration. But then again, if you're feeling dehydrated, try to avoid those caffeinated beverages like sodas, green teas, coffee. Just stick with some sort of water or Gatorade to get your fluid levels back up. And then we're going to finish kind of with preventing dehydration or just hydrating properly. So again, just consume fluids regularly throughout the day. Drink that water, eat those fruits and veggies, things that are going to give you proper water content. And then just be cautious about what the activities you're doing, especially if it's outside, say in the summertime at the hottest time of the day. Understand that you're going to need to drink extra fluids because you will be sweating and losing fluids. So drink those fluids before that activity, throughout, and after. And then I've kind of mentioned it throughout the whole video, but understanding what your body is telling you. So understanding the signs and symptoms, listening to your body, and just being prepared. So, and that goes back to hydrating throughout the day. So just to reiterate a couple of things, some of those signs and symptoms for moderate are going to be dry mouth, dizziness, weakness, or a headache. And then severe dehydration is lack of sweating, low blood pressure, increased heart rate, shriveled or dry skin. And then again, drink those fluids all day long. Don't just wait till the end of the day to get your fluids in. Thank you for watching today, and thank you for tuning in each and every day. Go check out our Facebook other Facebook Live exercise classes and the YouTube channel for some exercise classes and content like this one. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all in the video tomorrow morning.